Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Mem Daled Amud Aleph, the Mishnah. Hagiyorish and his Gaira, Bita Ima. You have a woman who converted and her daughter converted. And then the daughter was given Kiddushin. And she was Mezaneh as a Nara. So the normal punishment is skila. But this woman gets killed, Arezu Bechenek, because it's got to be a Yisrael. Ki astan v'ala Yisrael. This was not a Yisrael initially. Ein lo Pesach Beisa'av. If the father doesn't have a house where, Ein lo Pesach Beisa'av. You don't kill her by the. Normally, you do skila by the door of the father. But here, because she was not a Yisrael initially, you don't fulfill that din in the pasuk. V'lo me'asela, if the husband is Motzi Shemra is only by Yisrael initial. Now, there are stages. Let's say the mother had converted while she was pregnant. Not that she converted as a girl, but the mother converted while the conception was when the mother was still a goyeta. But then the mother converted, and then when the daughter was given birth to, the mother had already been Jewish. So then Arezu Beskila. So she is killed Beskila. But because she was not a full Yisrael, Ein lo Pesach Beisav lo me'asela. She's also not killed at the door of the father, and there's no me'asela paid. Of course, if the mother converted and then the conception, the Leda, is as a Jew, so then she gets skila, Pesach Pesa'av, and there's me'asela if it's Motzi Shema. Yesh la'av ein la Pesach Pesa'av. Let's say there is a father, but the father doesn't have a house. Or yesh la Pesach Pesa'av ve'ein la'av. There is a father's house, but the father's dead. Arezu b'skila. It doesn't remove the punishment. Lo nemar Pesach Pesa'av el mitzvah. To do that, it's a mitzvah and a mufchar, but it's not li'ikuv. Now, Banan and Mili, how do we know these dinim? Amr ish lakish tamar krova mesa. It says, Uskalua anshe ira b'vanim v'mesa. The rabbi Yisrael Rasa shelo b'kedusha v'leidasa b'kedusha, to include in skila even a case where the mother was a goyeta when they conceived her, but was Jewish when she gave birth. Iachi milken nami nilki. That if there was a husband who's motzi shemra, let him get malchus u'me'asela nami and pay the me'asela. She's included in the din of misa, but not in these dinim of knas. Maybe the pasuk comes to include just a giyoris, who then conceived and gave birth to her as a Jew, but maybe we had a pasuk for that. So the Gemara says, you don't need a pasuk l'rabbi Yisrael Rosav, they doesn't be Dusha Yisrael is mal Yisihi. She's a full-fledged Jewess. I ve'ema l'rabbi Yisrael Rosav, they doesn't shalo b'dusha. Maybe it comes to include that even if later on she converted after being conceived and born Shalom B'Kedusha, maybe that's a inclusionary statement to give her skila. Im kain b'Yisrael ma'anele. So then, when it says Shastan v'ala b'Yisrael, there'd be no purpose for that pasuk. So that's the source material for the halacha we learn. A Baal who's motzi shemra and the girl has no father, because it says Shneimar v'nostu la'avi anara. Prat l'zu shem la'av. Mazrav is Ravavi. Vita resi bar zvita. Im mo'en yimo'en avia. By a girl who was seduced and she doesn't want to get married to the guy. He still has to pay the money. So she gets the knas. So you see, even when there's no father, why should there be a ptur and knas? So who moisif lav umafarikla? When he seduced her, there was a father, then he died. We're talking about a case where there's no father at any time. Rav Amar Chayev. Rav says that there is, by Motzi Shemra, he has to pay her the money, even though there's no father. Mimai b'detani ama, psulas Yisrael v'lo psulas Gerim. Iyamrit bishlam like ki gavna b'Yisrael Chayev. If we're going to say that by regular Jewish girl, there's a chiyuv if there's no father. So there's a pasuk that excludes a ger, because every ger doesn't have a father because they're not connected to their father. But if a Jewish girl who got raped didn't have to pay a fine, hush to be Yisrael potter begamer boy, so there would have been no need to have a pasuk to exclude a ger. So it's a good proof. Amreish Lakish. Hamotzi Shemra alaktana potter. That what Reish Lakish says, Motzi Shemra is only on a nara. Shenemar v'nosno lavia nara. Nara mole diberakosu. Since it says nara with a hey, it excludes a ktana. Mazkar v'achabarava time it exceeds ha nara. Halav hachia v'mina filu ktana. So if it wouldn't have said that, a katana would have been included, but that can't be. Haksiv that let's say she had been mizaneh after kiddushin. Well, katana lav basoin sheni. You don't put a katana to death with skila. So elaka nara. Here it says nara with a full hay, to exclude a ketana. Every other place in the Torah where it says nara, we read it nara without the hay, then even includes a ketana in those dinim as well. Tani Shila, Sholish Midas Benara. There are 3 stages by nar. Bola Edim Beves Chamia, Shezinsa Beves Avia. After she gets married and she's living in her father-in-law's house, Edim come and say that she was mizan in her father's house when she was an arusa. So we're now on Memhei Ahmed Aleph. Mario.
Hold on, Ernie.